Wonderful sweet baby. So today we're going to be talking about NLE Choppa taking his second baby mama, Marissa, to court. So Marissa went on a rant yesterday and pretty much explained how NLE Choppa is ready to take her to court in regards to her son. And she pretty much let it all spill as to why he's deciding to, at this point, take her to court. And in the midst of her, spilling all this tea, she even mentions that NLE Choppa decided to starve their baby. Now, I am going to say allegedly at the end, so allegedly starve the baby, but it's simply because of the way that she put it in terms. It pretty much just, she's alleging that he starved the baby, okay? But it's not funny, but it's just, guys, when I read that, I cackled. All right, but let's just get straight into it because there's a lot that she had to say. So Marissa pretty much comes out and says, I can't believe this B word is taking me to court about a child he doesn't even call. LMAO. I get so angry just thinking about this ish. B word can't even tell a MF when's the last time Chosen's been to the doctor or even been to a doctor's appointment. I tell you what, Chosen's birthday was a month ago. This B word has only called once. And just for reference, I think that the B word in this instance is NLE Choppa. But I digress, had to clear that up. Let's go to the next tweet. She then says, an N-word will literally try to break you behind your child. I serve God. For real, God seen everything I went through behind closed doors. God seen me there by myself, praying by myself with my son in my hands and my eyes full of tears. God gave me the strength when I felt weak as hell. I know for sure God got me. She then says, this B word can't even fill up all 20 Instagram slides of different occasions when he saw Chosen. She then says, N-word don't even know what Chosen did last week. You ever met an N-word get mad because his baby mamas got cool without him? He was lying to both of us, trying to make it seem like both of us was crazy and delusional. Real deal got mad cause we is cool. A fan messy little self gonna say, taking you to court? And she said, yeah, trying to take me to court for a child he barely see. A child he had fasting at 1 year old. Saying a child doesn't need to eat 3 times a day. Kids, come on, stop. NLE, that is just really wild, okay? I can't even gather even to my thoughts yet, but that is wild. But let's go to the last one, you guys. She then says, just call me crash out behind my son. So here's my thoughts. I 100% get where Marissa is coming from, and I'm going to side with her in this instance because last that I checked, allegedly, NLE Choppa didn't even really do much for his daughter. Now, of course, I could be wrong, but that is primarily what I remember. I remember, his first baby mother coming out stating how he wasn't really that active of a dad when it came down to her daughter, allegedly. So from what I gather, I could 100% kind of side with Marissa in this instance because of that. Now, Marissa's also, thinking that this is all coming from the fact that she's now coming up. And because he sees her coming up, now he's kind of like trying to go send her to court in regards to everything. And I could believe that because if you guys are unaware, check my last video where we talked about Ivory and her payment with Zeus Network. Ivory is alleging that, Marissa could possibly have walked away with $100,000 in payment from doing baddies. And really, that was her making $100,000 within a week because she really didn't even last a week on the show. She really was just kind of done with the show after her face was getting torn up to shreds. But I digress. But anyway, you guys, yeah, so pretty much after that, Marissa was just kind of looking at like this, I'm walking away with my money and I'm walking away with my face still intact. I'm not going to keep reapplying makeup just to keep looking the way that I look. And I think that once it all kind of leaked about how much Marissa was getting paid, that's when NLE decided, okay, well, maybe it's time for you to go to court because since you are getting paid a decent amount of money, that's enough for me to kind of put in that my payment that I'm giving to the baby needs to go down. And this is just what I'm alleging based off of what I'm hearing. But this is not actual factual. This is just what I'm putting together after, hearing everything that's come out as of late. But what NLE needs to realize, as well as a lot of these baby daddies need to realize, is if the mom is going to have the baby for, every single day, and you're only seeing the baby for a few hours out of the one day out of the week that you decide to choose to see the baby, or maybe the every 2 weeks out of the few hours that you decide to see the baby, $100,000 really ain't gonna be nothing after she finishes paying her rent, after she finishes buying the baby that's constantly growing every single day, every single hour on the hour, every minute out of the hour. The baby is still constantly growing, needing milk, food, utilities. The mom has to make sure she's okay and in her right mind to gather and take care of the baby. So there's a lot that goes into this, with you just trying to quickly just shut down the payment that you're giving her because she made $100,000 in a week. So I feel like with him wanting to now take her to court over this, it's really just coming out of him hearing the fact that he knows what she was paid. And no shade, but was Marissa really getting money prior to that 100K? Like, I don't think she was making that kind of money anywhere else. So all in all, I know NLE's probably getting sick and tired of having to pay for, having a kid, but this is what you get when you sit here and you don't want to commit and have a relationship with somebody. And then on top of that, you want to impregnate them. And then on top of that, you think that things are just going to be Scott's free and she's just going to keep quiet while she's got to take care of your son every day. No, you still have to pay whatever it is that you're paying her every month to take care of that child, because once again, $100,000 is not going to do anything after all the expenses that she has for the child. And NLE, if it's true that you had that baby fasting, you really do deserve to be in jail, because that is actually wild. Any doctor would tell you that, a child or people with ailments and things like that, they cannot do the same things that other people are able and capable of doing, simply because they could, make any ailments that they have a lot worse, or end up with them ailments because they're trying to do what other people are doing. So yes, I see where he's talking about, with fasting being beneficial, as well as, a benefit to him because he's a grown man that is completely developed. But a baby that's, under the age of 5 fasting, that sounds insane. Actually, that sounds so crazy, to the point where I'm actually behooved that he thought that that was okay, seeing as he has a whole other child as well. This is more than likely why he doesn't have complete full custody of his first child, because he doesn't even know how to take care of another child, allegedly. So yeah, at the end of the day, I'm siding with Marissa, and honestly and truthfully, it doesn't even seem like a crash out to me. It seems like she's being a real mother that actually cares about her child, and that doesn't want her child to end up somewhere deceased somewhere because he's over here starving the baby, talking about it's fasting because it's beneficial to the baby. So yeah, if anything, that's not crashing out. That's you doing what you have to do for the sake and the safety of your baby, so you're not ending up crying on the news somewhere because you left your baby with a buffoon. But that's my opinion. What's yours?